Phil, you remember in the days of old of an Arsenal 1-0, you're developing that mentality.
Yeah, we signed a player, didn't we, just before, if there is such a thing as a deadline, in Taylor Ferran, and he played at Arsenal, and you talk about Arsenal winning 1-0, it used to be under George long time ago. But Arsenal, talk about a changed club, but it stuck all the way through, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's certainly nothing wrong with the 1-0 mentality when it actually pays off. But did we play today in a similar way to Wednesday? I don't think so, yet it's the same result. I thought we dominated the opposition. We knew that it could have been a potential banana skin, and Farsley, Celtic have got their own issues and their big issues, don't get me wrong, and I feel for them, I genuinely do, but at the same time my job's not to feel for them, my job's to win the game. And we set up a team that played some great football in the first half. Had a few half chances, but I wouldn't have said they were clear-cut chances. Then one came along that I thought, yeah, that should be one. It could have been 1-0 at half-time, it could have been 2-0 at half-time, but we've said that too many times. It wasn't. We didn't do anything drastic at half-time. We just said that if something was going to happen in the second half, it might be through change. It might be either change of system, change of personnel. And everybody has to be switched on to that. You know, when you change a system, the whole 10 outfield players apart from the goalkeeper are all involved in that. And when we did change, we changed from a 5 to a 4, or a 3 to a 4, and went 3 in midfield. Malik, he came on, Ben Beresford came on. Ben Beresford got a goal with a very early touch in his game, and it looked like the substitutions worked, but I thought that was the best stage of Farsley Celtic's game, was in that 10, 15, 20 minute spell where we were just changing shape a wee bit, and everybody was getting used to that position, as it were. You might actually criticise the manager because of the change caused a little bit of consternation in our ranks as opposed to the opposition ranks, but in the end it worked, and that's all I was bothered about, really, to make it work, to get that winning formula, to get that winning mentality back at Agbra. And okay, we scraped through 1-0, but you know, if truth be known, it should be a lot more.
You say about Ben Beresford, he's come back from injury, he makes an immediate impact to his confidence of good.
And ours, you know, people are looking at goal scorers, and you know, everybody's looked at Amari for a number of years, and the same with Hemo, and maybe the new regime is coming into play. Amari will take some shifting, there's no doubt about it, because he's a strong player, he's a force to be reckoned with at this level, and everybody knows him, he's got a reputation. But Amari with Ben Beresford up front isn't a bad little little combination, and certainly Ben Beresford will learn his trade from Amari, that's for sure. But Ben was in the right place at the right time, and my word, how many times we've seen that already. He's only played 4 games for us, and he's done it 3 times, being in the right place at the right time. Call it lucky, call it awareness, call it upbringing, education, whatever you want to call it. He's there's no doubt about it, and he got himself a goal, and he got us the winning goal. After that, it was a little bit sort of educational where Ben was concerned. He's still only 19, he's still a baby. He's got a full half under his belt today in terms of the fitness levels, and hopefully the hamstring getting stronger. But he came into a team that were hanging on at the end to a certain extent, because Farsley Celtic had nothing to lose and everything to gain at 1-0. But we managed to navigate and negotiate our way to the end, and eventually won the game, and I think deservedly so. You know, you can look at a 1-0 scoreline on Wednesday, and I suppose the opposition would have said, well, we had chances in the second half, which they did do, Curzon Ashton, but they were playing at home. Today was about us playing at home, and hopefully the supporters getting behind me in the second half after going 1-0 up, and making sure that that focus that I'm talking about was evident on the terraces as well as on the field of play. And today it bore fruit.
Yeah, you look ahead to Tuesday, the fans enjoying a weekend, but they'll probably, the air of expectancy will be to see off a very strong South Shield side on Tuesday.
There's some very decent football teams in this division, there's some very strong teams in this division, there's different tactical battles and awarenesses that you have to understand where the opposition's concerned. We know where South Shields are concerned. They've got an academy manager from Sunderland in the ranks, and they play that kind of football, you know. And when anybody makes reference to academy football, it's pure, it's technical, it can be tactical as well, like, you know. So we have to be aware, I have to be aware of what the opposition can throw at us. But again, we're at Agbra, bring it on, you know. We'll play the kind of football that we know we can play, but we've got to try and nullify the opposition, and just understanding what they do. That's key as far as I'm concerned. If you don't understand what they do and you're flying a flag on your own on the pitch and the other 9 players are asking where you are because you've gone missing, then you haven't been listening. But we've got a fairly attentive group. Unfortunately, we've got two lone players, 2 international call-ups going to be away, Mazkuya and Malik Carrigan, and that'll weaken the numbers, but not necessarily weaken the ranks, because I think I've got probably 5 or 6 players that have been knocking at my door on a regular basis saying, when's my chance coming, when's my chance coming. They might have been thinking heel zone, but all of a sudden we've now got an international break where we've got to cater for it. So there might be a couple of opportunities for players to come in and make a positive reference to them playing, but that'll only come if they cross that white line with a purpose, and if that purpose is to prove to me I've been wrong keeping them out, I'm in a good place. If we can win that game with 2 changes, and if we can win Saturday against Halezone, and then the 2 internationals come back, I've got a job to do. You know, I've got to make sure I understand who's deserving of the place in the next game. So all of them things are, for me as manager, bring it on. You know, that's management as far as I'm concerned. That's what I'm paid to do, and that's what I enjoy do actually.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably more enjoyable having that to choose from than rather having the opposite and not enough players.
That's true, and as I made reference to at the start of the interview, Taylor's here. First question I asked him when he came in the changing room after the game, what do you think? And he was delighted with the standard of football. He was delighted with the performance. He thought it was a little bit nervy in the second half, and he's a young kid, never been here before. He's probably making reference to it raw. And he's given the right reference point, you know. And yes, it was a little bit nervy when it's only 1-0, but every game is. But we deservedly got over the line, as I say, and now we've got competition for places. And Rhys Devine getting man of the match, fantastic for the lad, absolutely brilliant. But I tell you what, there was 3 or 4 players out there that could have got man of the match quite easily, and in the main they've been defenders.